let's be honest, not a lot of people are moving because of external allergens. So we're not going to move. So we're not really going to change our external environment too much. Mm-hmm. So we have to change our internal environment. That's our only hope. And when we change our internal environment, then we're much more tolerant of our external environment.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Barrett. I'm a board-certified chiropractic physician with a passion and emphasis in functional nutrition. We can't wait to add value to your health as well as the health of your family. Thanks for listening in to the Real Health Podcast.
Hey, before we jump into today's episode, do me a favor. If you like this episode and you like hearing from Dr. B, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram. We're really trying to get this health movement out. So without further ado, let's get to today's episode.
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast with Dr. B. This is your host, Lane. Good morning if you're listening to this, or good evening, or good afternoon. Welcome to the show, Dr.
All
Barrett.
the above.
All the above. We're in a new little recording studio today. How about that?
Hey, man.
You got the lights on you. You look good over there.
Well, thank you, sir.
Guys, if you are not following our Instagram page and or Facebook, we are posting clips of the show. And so now you can see the wonderful Dr. Barrett when he talks about things that are important in the show. So make sure you head over to the Instagram and or Facebook and make sure you're following along.
And we'll have a 20,000 download.
That's incredible.
We'll have a giveaway. We're going to put that on our Instagram.
Okay. Yeah.
And when we hit 20,000, which should be this like in the next couple days.
Next couple days, yep.
Then we'll give you some data, some info on how to enter the giveaway.
What's really awesome about it too is, it's been organic. We haven't spent money on advertisement. We haven't spent money to get it in the front of people. So if you're listening to this right now and you've shared it with your friends or you shared it with your family, thank you, because we really haven't had to use much advertising or spend much advertising dollars to get to that 20,000. So thank you if you've done that.
Yeah, that's really how we've built. I have people ask me all the time, hey, how much do you spend in marketing? And I'll tell them we haven't spent $1 in marketing since the day we were open 10 years ago.
Wow.
And so everything we've done has been truly blessed by the Lord. And our heart behind this is always to give and serve and provide free content for our listeners with really just simple health strategies. And we're really not trying to complicate it. So today shouldn't be a complicated episode either.
Well, and today's an episode that I selfishly want to talk about, and it's going to be seasonal allergies.
Okay.
And because I feel like it's that time of year, and it is. I'm woke up a little. I feel like I wake up every morning a little stuffy.
Okay.
And so maybe seasonal allergies, but I did find some interesting statistics on seasonal allergies. I figured I'd share it with the audience.
Let's
Is that
go.
cool? So seasonal allergies affects millions of people worldwide, with estimates ranging from 10 to 30% of the global population. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean up to a third. That's a lot.
And then it says pollen is the most common trigger for seasonal allergies, but airborne particles such as dust mites, pet dander can also cause symptoms. There was one more over here that I thought was really amazing. Oh, yeah, this was an interesting fact because I was just searching for the facts, and of course, a lot of it was talking about medications that were needed for it. But then it was like one of the last facts. It says, people with seasonal allergies may find relief also with natural remedies such as herbal supplements, acupuncture, and nasal irrigation.
Oh, yeah. Come on, nitty pot.
I was about to say now, I'm sure that's exactly what we're probably going to talk about.
That's right.
Seasonal allergies. Okay, so what? Where can we start with seasonal allergies? What do you feel like are important things for the people, the listeners, to know?
Yeah, just the basic of pollen is usually not the source of your allergies.
Okay.
It is.
So that thing is wrong.
It's it's the final straw on the camel's back in a sense, right? Okay. And so when we look at seasonal allergies, think of it like your cup is full, and then spring hits and your cup spills over. What was that?
That was a foam roller.
Okay, all right.
So go back and state that for me if you don't care. Sorry for that, guys.
No, that's fine. I've done that a few times on our episode. So again, the cup is full, and we've already built up this level of immune hypersensitivity, and then pollen releases, and that just adds to what's already there, and our cup spills over into, obviously, drainage. And so what we see are, eyes watering, itchy skin, itchy eyes. So here's the issue. If we can reduce the cup of immune hypersensitivity of histamine, then we can be more tolerant to our external environment. If our immune system's in a healthier position, then pollen is not going to have its effects on us as much.
That's good. Okay.
So it's all about not necessarily, because we can't control our external environment. Yes, you can move, but let's be honest, not a lot of people are moving because of external allergens. So we're not going to move. So we're not really going to change our external environment too much. So we have to change our internal environment. That's our only hope. And when we change our internal environment, then we're much more tolerant of our external environment. So that's the framework here that I want to discuss is pollen doesn't necessarily have to have the allergenic effect that it does if we improve our internal environment.
I was going to ask you, what are some of the things that you referred to as a cup as being, full? Do you want to cover like what's filling that cup? Is that what it is?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So consumption of dairy, consumption of gluten, previous like pathogens, like if you have bacterial load or viral loads, your gut isn't healthy, so you don't have a healthy gut flora. So all of those can contribute to a cup being full. And then other factors are internal and within your home. If you have a not a clean filtration system, if you don't have maybe even a air filter in your home separate from your HVAC system, or a HEPA filter for your HVAC system, these things again add to the load. We start to see, especially in springtime, what is everyone spraying on their yards? Pesticides, herbicides, Roundup. Yes, that causes lymphomas, but it also creates liver toxicity issues. So as that glyphosate accumulates in our liver, then that impairs our ability to break down histamine. Our liver is our primary source of breaking down histamine. So as our liver becomes burdened by our external environment, then we're not going to be able to break down pollen or histamine as well, and then we have a greater allergenic effect. The solution is a lot of times not just modulating the external environment with reduction of dairy and gluten-based grains, inflammatory foods, HEPA filter, but it's also getting your liver healthy. And when we do, we definitely are more tolerant of our environment.
When you say histamine, can you just quickly define that for someone?
Histamine is a chemical in our body. Actually, it acts like a neurotransmitter. But histamine is produced a lot of times by these certain immune cells in response to perceived threat. Okay. So whether that would be bacterial load, viral loads, or pollen, our immune cells will create this cytokine called histamine, and then obviously it'll have an effect on our body, which is what we typically see with redness and swelling, whether it be with our eyes or whether it be eczema with our skin.
Okay. The question for you, you said it just a minute ago, and it had to do with people spraying their yards with herbicides and pesticides. I'm curious with that. Acutely, how dangerous is someone is spraying their yard on today, let's say. You can smell the chemicals in the air. What acutely, if someone is around that, what should they be doing?
Run and hide.
I mean, really, is that?
Yes,
is
it's
that
extremely toxic. Extremely toxic. Glyphosate is directly linked. I don't know how it still exists, but it's directly linked to cancer, lymphoma, leukemias. Again, and we just pour it on our yard and then let our kids play in it.
Well,
It's insane. We have a beautiful manicured lawn, and then we have sick kids. I love the game of golf. I hate what they do to golf courses, right? I hate that they spray them, but that's how they get that perfect Augusta grass.
Beautiful.
Okay. So as soon as they started seeing Augusta on color TV, right? Decades ago, that's where Roundup sales started, going through the roof because everyone wanted that grass.
Yeah.
And so it is an extremely toxic compound. The cool thing is your body can remove it in usually about 3 to 5 days, but we're constantly constantly absorbing it through our food source and our yard. And again, that impairs liver function, which then creates an inability to break down histamine, and the histamine loads increase. So detoxification is a great way of helping with allergens.
Got it. Okay, let's get back on track because that was selfishly a question that I had to, because my neighbors, they'll probably never listen to this, but if they do, love them to death, but they spray that stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
Yeah. All right, seasonal allergies, let's get back to it. So you're talking about the cup and the pollen. The pollen is the one that sets it off. Mm-hmm. What can someone be doing if they're experiencing seasonal allergies right now? What's the most important thing you think people should know?
Okay, the first thing would be try to create your internal environment, which is, in a sense, not your body, but your house versus the external environment. The internal environment of your home, try to create that as healthy as possible.
Okay.
So get a HEPA filter for your HVAC systems.
Okay.
And then get just a basic HEPA air filter that you're running, particularly in your bedroom. We use one called Molecule, which is a little bit more of like an advanced filtration system, an air cleaner. But you can use a HEPA-based filter in your room or in your kid's room at night so that it's creating a healthy internal environment. Mm-hmm. So that would be the first recommendation is do what you can. Keep your dust levels low. Keep your indoor mold content low because, we come out of winter. Mold spores are high. Again, that's another allergen that's going to affect histamine levels in the body. So if we can keep mold and indoor mold levels low and pollen low, and we can keep dust levels low, then that again starts to drain that cup a little bit.
Got it. Why when people are mowing the grass or get done mowing the grass, it always is the worst?
Oh, well, you're just, again, stirring up a lot of... Well, and it's not just, grass, right?
Yeah.
It's dirt. It's a little bit of just dirty air in a sense.
Yeah.
And obviously a ton of grass pollen.
Yeah.
And that's just going right into the nose. So again, that's just the whole thing it's very simple. Your body looks at pollen like it does a bacteria. So when it enters the nose or a virus, it's going to have this inflammatory effect, right? This massive histamine cytokine response.
Correct.
So when you mow that grass and you just get this huge nasal absorption of all that external allergen, then you're going to have this massive response, right? So that's where, hey, if you're mowing your grass, put on a mask. It's the only time I recommend it. Got it? You got it? So
in 95 3M.
Yes, please.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, this was going to be a quick one because we just want to give you a bite-sized seasonal allergy episode. A lot of people, especially in East Tennessee, that may be where a lot of our listener base is listening to this from, you can read East Tennessee is one of statistically the worst places, they say, for seasonal allergies. Why do you think that?
Yeah, we live in a valley, and it does just accumulate at a higher level. That we do have just a higher external environmental load of allergens.
Yeah.
So,
but it doesn't seem like we're doing too much with our internal either, though.
No, we're living in the South. So, obviously our nutrition is terrible. So, if we were talking quick, like, okay, you leave with this, few items.
Yep.
Clean up your internal environment of the house, so HEPA filtration.
Okay.
Local honey. It has been shown to improve allergenic response, but it also just soothes the nasal, the throat and respiratory system. Okay. Neti pot. There is evidence to show that if you can clean out your nose from all the accumulated allergens, it will help significantly. So you need to be doing a neti pot at least once a day, preferably even twice a day.
Okay.
Quercetin or quercetin is a great polyphenol.
Okay.
This is something that people heard about during COVID because its ability to affect the lungs specifically. This polyphenol is phenomenal for histamine or as a natural antihistamine. So about 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of quercetin a day.
Okay.
Nettles, stinging nettle tea. Drinking this at night is a great way of, again, it's a natural antihistamine. It decreases your histamine load. So stinging nettles is a fantastic option for people who are looking to, again, improve that histamine level. Support your liver. Okay, liver detoxification is an important ingredient in helping break down histamine. So as simple as like glutathione or milk thistle is a great option for people to improve liver conversion of histamine. So, for me, those are things that I like to do. Clean out my nasal passage, keep an internal home environment clear. I like to decrease my grain and dairy consumption, so I'm less allergenic. Even lower histamine foods are ones that I consume more of. If I'm in a pinch and I need a little bit of more support, it's nettle leaf or quercetin as options for me to really kind of help me push along in combating, again, that high pollen allergenic load.
Yeah, man, those are so good. Okay, very last question. And maybe someone is listening to this right now and they are just in pain. Like their seasonal allergy, they can barely breathe. You gave them all those tips. What's the one or two that they should like just acutely do right now and just go for it?
The first one is nasal cleansing. Okay. You gotta go nasal rinse.
Got it.
Okay. And you can do that 3-4 times a day.
Okay.
Distilled water, salt pack, boom, just clean it out. Okay.
Got it.
So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is I would just get off all carbohydrate. I would go ketogenic and really reduce your inflammatory load, as that can help significantly combat food reactions. And we did the episode last week, 2 weeks ago, was on ketogenic diet.
Yeah.
So if I were to do two things, it would be radically change my nutrition, either through like an AIP, autoimmune paleo diet, or a ketogenic diet, and I would do nasal rinsing.
Man, this was good. We did this in 16 and a half minutes, and that was a fantastic episode. I feel like I need to go home and do some of this stuff.
It's stuff that I do, and it's good to reinforce because I'm like, oh, yeah.
And you've kept it from me.
Sorry. That's why we do these episodes.
That's why we do these
It's not
episodes.
just for the listeners.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Real Health Podcast with Dr. B. Make sure you share this with an episode that maybe you have a friend or a family member that has got scratchy eyes and or has seasonal allergies, and this could benefit them. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you go follow the Instagram and the Facebook page, Dr. Barrett. See you next episode.
Before you hit X, hold on 1 second. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the podcast today with Dr. B. 2 things that would really help the Real Health Podcast movement. 1, share it on your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever you're on a social network. And 2, if you go to Apple Podcast and you scroll down, give us a 5-star rating and give us a review. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you next episode.